Y'all can say whatever y'all want about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, but that lady know what the F she talking about. And she's always going viral, but she really don't be lying.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Just a Girl Show. My name is Janine. If you are new here, if you're new to the channel, of course, hit that subscribe button. Turn your notifications on so you never miss an episode. And if you are a subscriber, welcome back to the channel. So, Cheyenne Bryant. Some know her as Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, but we're going to call her by her first and last name, Cheyenne Bryant. Cheyenne Bryant won women over when she ate Cam Newton up. Remember that interview? She ate him up. Okay. They were in love with her. Yes, she eating him up, calling him out. He got a bunch of broken homes. He's a high value man, but he's low vibrational. All the things, right? All of the black women loved it. And they were also very upset with if anybody went against her, if anybody said anything to disagree with her, because they felt like women, a woman finally calling a man out, a man of his stature should be praised. And I was one of the women who did not fall for it. I'm just like, this woman says she's been engaged all these times. She's in her 40s. She ain't got no man. Something don't make sense. And what happened when you do that? They attack you, right? They had a problem with it. Then when Corey Holcomb was exposing the fact that she may be allegedly a lesbian and don't even date men, I talked about that. They were like, oh, it don't matter if she, what does that matter? If she's a lesbian, it don't change the fact that she knows what she's talking about. Okay. They didn't want nothing could stop her from doing what she's doing or has been doing. And we've seen her go from show to show to podcast to everywhere. She is everywhere. She is getting her money. Okay. And Corey Holcomb was exposing the fact that she's not licensed. She's not a doctor. She don't have this. She don't have that. She's not who she says she is. And everybody, the women were like, oh, he's a hater. He's this, he's that.
Y'all can say whatever y'all want about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, but that lady know what the F she talking about. I think a lot of times people can't receive it well because she says it with such confidence and she says it with conviction. The last thing, and y'all might say I'm wrong for this, but I think people don't necessarily care for her because she is attractive. The lady is drop dead gorgeous. I feel like that is some of the reason why people can't stand this lady, and she's always going viral, but she really don't be lying. She's also quick to tell you her accolades, but I feel like, what's wrong with that?
Well, Cheyenne Bryant went on Joe Budden's podcast and said this.
I no longer practice under a license. I'm in private practice, I'm saying. And that's what people don't understand, right? So just to educate some folks a little bit, a license is really only needed so you can bill insurance. Majority of people who know that in order to bill insurance as a therapist or a physician or a psychologist, psychiatrist, you have to diagnose. So what do they rather do? Pay out of pocket.
That's what I do.
And so when I realized that, I thought, well, okay, it may create a gap within our community, our black community, who can't afford health care or afford mental health services. But it also is a way that, as a therapist, two things, you can obviously make what you deserve, because therapy is real. We're giving everything we have in there. And we're unpacking shit, and we're helping you process through things. So it's not us sitting there, well, if you're an effective therapist, saying, tell me more. You should be unpacking. And you should be able to take somebody and drive with them to their goal and give them tools. So anyways, when I realized that, I thought, well, one, I'll just be out of pocket. Two, when I tell my clients the truth, is that in order to bill insurance, I have to diagnose you. And you only get about 6 weeks. In order for me to get 6 more weeks approval, guess what? And so I'm not saying that folks should, not go get therapy if they have to bill insurance. Get the help that you need. I advocate for that. I advocate for therapy being a lifestyle, not just a intervention, right? It should be a preventative measure. But I am saying that for me, I'm in private practice. I make much more money. It allows me to have more leverage and really be hands-on with my clients. I'm not binded by BBS, the Behavior Board Science rules and regulations and ethics. And so it just opened up a whole nother, floor in industry for me.
Okay. So she basically let it be known that I don't. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna get paid big bucks. She actually gets paid $350 for like a 50-minute session. Here's a clip.
This is what she meant when she said she didn't want to practice under a license. She makes more money without it, and doesn't have to be constrained by standards and ethics. She doesn't have a governing body. There's nowhere that if you are unsatisfied, you can appeal to, complain to. There's nothing. There's no standards for her. But $350 a session, you know what this is giving to me? Grift. And she's reminding me more and more of Dr. Umar.
So that's why she can do what she wants to do. She gets paid. There's no licensed therapist that's getting paid $350 for no hour. It's just not. Not. So you could do whatever you want to do. So she went on that show and said she disrespected the licensed therapist. And you guys know that I'm a therapist myself. And they don't like it. You know, probably the same women who were all for Team Cheyenne, Team Dr. Bryant, they were all for it. But now when she disrespecting them, she can disrespect the man, she can call anybody else out, she can talk about this person, that person. But when it comes for them, they don't play about their education, they don't play about their degrees, as you shouldn't. But they've already been talking about how she's a fraud. And now the women are like, how dare you disrespect and spread harm to the Black community, because she did in fact call herself a therapist. She's saying that she didn't call herself a therapist. Here's the clips, y'all, for y'all to hear the rebuttal and the women talking about Cheyenne Bryant, and let's come back and talk about it.
It was like my first year being a therapist.
Don't mind me, y'all. Sorry, I'm outside and it's windy, but what do you mean now you're not a therapist? Because you just said you are. Miss Bryant, I ain't calling you doctor because you're fraudulent about that too. I want to see the receipts, all right? Where's your dissertation? All right? Where's your doctorate? Yeah, exactly. See, this is why licenses matter, because licenses bring accountability. Because otherwise you wouldn't have lied and said that you previously were a therapist and now that you're not. Okay? And then now you're calling yourself doctor. Where's your doctorate? All right? I have my law degree. Technically, I'm a doctor of law. Only one of us is a doctor, and I don't even call myself a doctor. So, yeah, exactly. So, let's stop, Miss Bryant.
I just had a conversation with somebody on Threads who posted this. Cheyenne Bryant never referred to herself as a therapist. So I then posted the receipts of her actually presenting herself as a therapist. This is something that is posted on her highlights right now, where she posted an article written by someone at NBC where they referred to her as a marriage and family therapist. This is posted on her page. When I showed this to the woman on Threads, her response was this, essentially saying that that's an article saying that she was a therapist. That's not her saying that she's a therapist. If she reposted an article that was written by her calling her a therapist, that is her intentionally spreading misinformation. And when it comes to these small publications, everyone knows that you can write in or pay to have an article written about you. And even if that wasn't the case with this particular article, they did not just claim that she was a marriage and family therapist out of nowhere. They got that information from her. I also mentioned the fact that there is a video out there where, while telling a story of a past client, she said these words.
It's so bad. It was like my first year being a therapist.
The girl was still going back and forth with me, debating on whether a license is needed to practice in the mental health field. I just don't understand why so many people think that this is okay. If there was a person pretending to be a medical doctor, doing surgeries, seeing patients, treating patients, but did not have a license or the degree required to be a medical doctor, I feel like people will understand a little bit more. There is no way that anyone would allow a surgeon to perform surgery on them or anybody they love if the surgeon said that they are not licensed and licensing is not important.
I knew Dr. Cheyenne Bryant was full of shit when she got on that man's podcast and said sometimes she don't even ask for nothing when she prays to God. She just prays for God himself. God. Girl, please. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes she do be right. And some of the stuff she do say do hit. But when she said that, I said, oh, this lady full of shit. So again, everybody is calling her out. As y'all can see, she said she never called herself a therapist, which she in fact did. And there's the proof. Y'all saw that she did. So she is going to learn, and is probably learning now in this situation, that people are going to dig up the dirt and they're going to call you out on it. The sisterhood is good at doing that when they want to. Okay? Now, again, beforehand, she was in everything, anything to them. But this is how much women don't want to hear what men have to say, right? When you're talking logical about somebody and you're not coming from an emotional standpoint and you're saying, this don't make sense, this ain't adding up. How could a woman who's so this, so that be single, no kids, no man, no nothing? And their response is, it don't matter. She could do whatever she wants to do. She don't have to be married. She don't have to have no kids. But now she should be licensed. Y'all don't like that. I think she's a fraud. I think she is very much, and I think she said something before about being in the clinical field, that I felt like she's painting this picture that makes people feel like they don't need to be with a therapist who is licensed, who's following the ethics of the of the field, because you are held to a certain standard. So with her, she can do whatever she wants to do because she's a life coach. She's going by the life coach thing. So she don't have to be held by a certain standard. So she can do whatever she wants to do. And that's a dangerous part about this whole dynamic. And it's dangerous to black people because what black people already do, they already have an idea about therapy. And then you could be like, well, my therapist don't need to be licensed. My therapist don't need to do this. They could do that. I can call my life coach my therapist, which they are not the same thing. But what women are talking about as well in regards to this is the fact that they believe that Dr. Bryant can do whatever she wants to do because of colorism.
I commented this on a couple of other pages who spoke on Cheyenne Bryant, no doctor. But the only reason why Cheyenne Bryant gets away with what she gets away with is because of colorism. She's cute, petite, thick, light-skinned, and she uses all the trigger words to get your attention. Yeah, it's colorism. Duh. Tell me I'm lying. Because if you tell me I'm lying, I'm going to tell you you're lying. That's why that lady gets away with the shit she gets away with. And I also want to say, too, there is a certain tone of voice that automatically gives narcissists to me. Maybe not diagnosed, but remember, she can't diagnose people either. But there's a tone of voice that narcissists use, and she has it down to a T.
Now, I agree to a certain extent because the women also find her very attractive. I think, and why I say I agree to a certain extent, I do think that being of a lighter skin tone definitely plays a factor, but I do also believe that if they just find you super attractive, they're going to also go for it. This would never fly. I think none of what she's been doing would have never been able to go be where it is, in my opinion, just my opinion, if she wasn't deemed attractive to not just women, but to men as well. So I do believe that her being attractive in the eyes of the people definitely will allow people to just breeze on by it. You think she's going to lose clients because of this? Absolutely not. She might get more clients. Who knows? And she knows that. She loves to be in the comments. Like, let's wait for her to come back and actually speak about this. Because she'll find a way to have a whole song and dance. You can put the proof in her face. Well, you said you was a therapist here. You had in your bio, marriage and family therapist. You had this, and I'm a therapist. You were calling yourself a therapist. Now you're not. No, you're not. You can also be an unlicensed therapist. That's fine. You can still be doing the clinical work, still just haven't taken your exam yet. But you can, but again, you're licensed by the exam. For her, she has not done any of the clinical work, in my opinion, as far as going to school, doing the hours, direct hours, interning. I don't think she's done that. I think she's definitely, like, she's done her doctorate degree in this stuff, but she hasn't actually went to school, in my opinion, for like the clinical side of things, like actually interned and did that part of it. And now she don't have to, though. My thing is, for Black women, they, again, this is monkey see, monkey do, and this is not, I don't have a problem with them calling this out, but it's always interesting of how before it was, oh no, leave Dr. Bryant alone, Dr. Bryant ain't bother nobody, y'all just haters. Now it's like, oh, let's jump on Dr. Bryant, let's all get on the hate train of it. And it's like, come on, y'all the same women who were just loving her. Now she coming for your friend who's a therapist. And it's just hypocritical, y'all. It's just very much like a monolithic thing. Again, I'm not mad at them for calling this out. I'm not mad at them for having opinions about this. I just think it's so ironic. Because I trust me, I had plenty of videos made about my stance about Dr. Bryant on TikTok. Plenty. I'm a hater. I'm this, I'm that. All these things. But now here we are. Now, again, these are just my thoughts, just my opinion. What are your thoughts on this topic? Drop it in the comments. Let me know what you think about Cheyenne Bryant. Like the video, of course, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next episode soon. Bye.